This is a good one. What is this? This feels huge. This feels huge. Oh, lads. Oh my God, look at that. Please don't come up, Mr. Pike. Oh yeah. Oh, oh, roach in heaven. Look at him. Anything better than that? Now, welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today is a video with a little bit of a difference. We're on the river. You all asked for it. We're here on the river, my favourite river in the whole wide world, the Great Ouse, and I'm going to fish with, have a look at this, Hemp and Tares. That's what I'm going to fish with, that's what I'm going to go with. Got a new toy to play with, which I'll show you in a sec. A nice system whip, which I think is going to be beautiful for this style of fishing here on the river. It's going to be lovely. I can't wait, honestly. It's going to be so good. I'm so excited. So I hope you are too, because I've walked a long way to get to this swim. It's a good push down this field, let me tell you. And yeah, so Hemp and Tares on the river. Hopefully we're going to catch a load of roach. I think it's going to be amazing. You all asked for it, so let's get on with it and let's catch some fish, hopefully. As you can see, I've gone for a pretty light setup here. I'll talk you through. I'm set up with a system whip today. Nice long 8-metre system whip, which I'll show you in more detail soon, which is a lovely bit of kit. I've got my bait there, which I'll show you in a sec. I've got my rester box, and then I've just got a little bit of tackle. I've got my camera. I like them ready rod bags because I can put a rod in them and I can put my whip in there, or even a pole if I wanted to bring one. And I've got a big carry-all up, like an old school carry-all, which I don't normally use a bag like that, but I could put my keep net in there because I do like to use a keep net when I'm roach fishing. Landing net, little side tray, get all my bits in there, my water bottle, I get everything in there, so it's a nice. And then because I've had to walk, you can't even see it, but through those trees, it's like, it's not a mile, but it's not far off. So obviously you don't want to travel with loads of kit, and that's what's holding people back from fishing these sort of places. I mean, this is the beautiful River Ouse. I mean, look at it. But by refining, like, just bringing a little bit of kit, I've literally got one pole rig with me, and just little means that just travelling light, I can access these sort of swims. And while I'm just setting up a little bit, I'm going to flirt a bit of hemp in. I'm not going to put any ground bait in or anything. In fact, let's have a look at the bait in a bit closer. Now, you know what I'm going to say to you, if you got this far, please like and subscribe to the video. A whopping 60% of you aren't subscribed. It's totally free. I don't know why you don't. Press like. I can do loads of videos, but I need the support back. And I have been getting the support back. And it makes me feel all good, all warm on the inside. But yeah, if you'd like and subscribe, that'd be great. And even better, leave me a comment down below what you'd like to see next. We're on the river today. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. But yeah, just like and subscribe because it really does help. It can mean that the video goes from like 3,000 likes or 3,000 views to 10,000, which obviously means a lot to me. So do us that favour, like and subscribe, and let's get on with it. Really quick look at my simple bait menu. I've just got some hemp for feeding, which is out of my freezer. You've seen how I do that before in the old pressure cooker. It's just my hemp that I use for paste fishing. Not really great for the hook, but I don't mind it for feeding. I quite like that sort of size hemp for feeding. I don't think you want the giant stuff for feeding personally. So I've got a couple of pints of that. That's out the freezer. Then in here I've got some giant hemp. Now there's some really big hemp going around the tackle shops at the moment, so I had to get some. It's very expensive. As you can see, I've not quite done that justice, have I? It's not quite split as I would have liked it. Probably needed a bit longer, which is a shame. I haven't quite got that right. There's an odd bit in there that's split, but it looks good. But I definitely underestimated the prep time for that one. But there's enough hookers in there to get me through today. But I'm hoping to catch on Tares. Now I've got no experience whatsoever with Tares. I've used them, of course I've used them, but I'm not a master with them or anything like that, because all my traditional fishing back in the day was on the Yorkshire canals, and you'd be fishing for like a dozen fish on hemp, so it paid to get really good hook hemp back then. And I felt that really good hook hemp was the key to success, not tares. Whereas when I've moved down to the Midlands, on a lot of like the rivers like we are today, on the Great Ouse, on the and Bure and all them sort of Midlands, East Midlands sort of venues, tares is a thing. And wheat's even a thing, but I ain't got any wheat, which is a bit of a shame. So I've done some tares, and I've literally just soaked them and then simmered them for a little bit. And to be honest, they're nice. They're nice. I haven't got them perfect. I think you can add bicarb to make them darker. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I think that's going to be a nice hook bait, and I'm hoping to catch on them, to be honest. I really am. So yeah, so I've got giant hemp, I've got some tares, just a few, just a little bag of tares, and I've got my feed hemp, and that's it. So let's have a look at the little rig that I've put together. Right, this is all going to be a bit rough and ready today, as you've probably seen, but it's such a long walk here. I didn't want to bring on my camera kit, and it was a literally last minute decision to come, so I literally just grabbed a bit of bait out of the freezer, some hemp and tares, and come down, and I really wanted to try my new toy out. So I'm just going to quickly run you through the rig. Now, I've got 7 meters of whip in my hand, and the rig is that long. I've got a spare section which I'm going to use to get out into the flow of the river, but the rig is probably 6.5 meters, I'd say, because I've got a bit of tension there, and that allows me to search the swim and also obviously swing the fish to hand. So it's a nice way to fish. I can cover plenty of water with it. It's just a nice way to fish. I've tied the rig up on 012 exact, nice and light. Now, you know me, I like to use quite thick lines for my main lines, but no need when you're fishing like this. And obviously, I'll show you the float in 2 seconds, but I'm fishing quite a light float, so I don't want my main line to interfere with the float if I can help it. An 012 is a nice balance. I can still move my shot on it, and it fishes nice, but if I do get a bit of wind, it's not going to interfere with my float too much. So I've probably got 5 meters of line above the float, something like that, which again allows me to swing the fish to hand, but crucially gives me that opportunity to search the swim. And then float wise, a lovely float for hemp, cypri. Now these are obviously designed for, you know, your commercial fishing really, but they do a great job on the river. 1.7mm tip, lovely hemp float, nice and stable, 4x14. I'd like to use a 4x12 because it's not very deep. It's probably 5 foot. 4x12 would be nice, but this is going to work fine. So I've got 4x14 cypri, and then I've just got a lovely strung shotting pattern. So I've just got number 9s. I've got 5 number 9s there, just spread out, if you can see them in my hand. 5 number 9s just spread out halfway down the rig, and then I've just got number 10s below that. Again, just so the whole rig is, the shotting is my arm. Oh, I'm stuck in a tree. The whole shotting is sort of, what is it, a metre of shot spread out. Lovely float, nice slim float, perfect for sort of hemp fishing. So that's the rig, nice and long, nice and simple. I've got 08 exact hook length, just a 6-inch hook length there, and I've got a size 18 N10, which is quite a long shanked. It's a lovely roach hook. I've got a lot of time for them as a hook. Brilliant hooks, very, very nice. And yeah, so that's the rig. Super simple stuff, but again, a few key points: that thin main line relative to what we normally use nowadays, and nice light float, the right length, so I can take that one section of me whip off, swing the roach to hand. So I've got the right length for line. Took a little bit of fiddling with that. Right, let's see what we can catch. Just gonna slip a Tare on to start with. Not like that, I'm not. Just trying to pick a smallish one out, nick it on. And the flow here is like right down the middle of the river, and I think I'm going to need the full length of the pole. I'd love to fish an 8-metre pole to hand, but I've got a big willow tree above me and I can't quite do it. So I'm going to have to swing the rig out and then put my other section on to get out in the middle. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get on with it. Flick it out like that. Put this section on, and I can get behind the float. I'm just going to start loose feeding. Now, while I was setting up, I have been trickling some hemp in. Hemp does take a bit of time to get going as a rule, and it's obviously best to build it a little bit. But we are pleasure fishing, so I don't think it'll take long. I got a sign straight away. That float's behaving lovely. There we go. Oh, I bumped it. Well, that was good. Not that we bumped it, but we got a bite. Tare. I'm going to keep me speaking to a minimum because it's so nice here. You can hear the birds and just lovely. No bite this run through. Take a bit of time just to build it and keep feeding and trickling that hemp in. And also finding where the fish are. I'm right down at the bottom of my run here. Right, pheasant. This long whip and long line, I can really search my swim. It's nice. Nice way to fish. There we go. First one of the second. That was right down my swim, which is probably to be expected. Little fish to start with. Nice little roach. Hopefully the first of many. Pop them in the net. I'm using a Tare. I don't normally like Tares, but that's what we're going with. A bit higher up. Oh, this feels like a good fish. I see that. That whip is doing the job. No elastic, I've gone for the flick tip, which I'll show you the whip in a bit more detail, but that's lifting that out there, lovely. Look at that. Strapping. They're here already, it hasn't taken long. This is amazing. I'm in love. That's a rubbish cast. Do that again. That's better. Get into the swing of things. Oh. Oh. She's pulling back. That whip is bending. Lovely, look at that. Might have to net this one. Might have to. Yeah. It's a net job. I'll get braver hopefully as the session goes on, but that's a net. Just gone on a bit of a hunch that there'll be loads of fish down here. It's such a long walk, I can't imagine anyone's caught these fish. Certainly not recently. I mean that. 4 ounces. What a beautiful fish. Absolutely amazing. This is going better than expected. Gosh, you never know, do you? Like, this is a remote bit of river. It looks well warm, but you might get an odd specimen angle. I'm just nicking that Tare on there, just a size 18 hook. Probably use a 16 to be honest. Yeah, you just never know. It doesn't really get, definitely don't get roach fish this bit. It's such a long walk. Put that section on, just loose feeding a bit of hemp. Literally just trying to feed it just ever so slightly downstream, but so far most of my bites are coming just letting the float sort of run to about there where it is now, and normally get a bite pretty quick. I'm not giving it a big strike or anything. I always found that with hemp, you can just, oh, bump that one. If you can just you know, almost lift the pole or lift the whip in this instance up, and you've got enough force there to connect, to kind of hang on to it anyway, so just little lifts. Otherwise you know, you run the risk of the hemp coming off. Not what we want. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm just taking one section off. Now you may be thinking, why don't you just fish 8 metres to hand? But there's a tree above me that would make 8 metres to hand pretty challenging and nice fish, isn't it? Look, they're all like hooked in the top lip so far. Yeah, so hooking the swinging in 8 metres of line would be a bit of a challenge. Now I'm not an expert, but that just looks great, doesn't it? You could probably put some, I think you can put bicarb on them to make them darker, but I haven't done that. Not for any reason other than I forgot. And this was an impromptu session. And I just grabbed them out of the freezer. Had a few in there. Just gets to about there, which I imagine is where the hemp's sort of settling and the fish are settling. Gets to about there, and I tend to get a bite in that neck of the woods. There we go. See that? I barely lifted the whip up, but that was enough to set the hook. And it's just so nice to fish with a whip rather than a pole in this scenario. Not for speed, but it's actually just a lovely way to fish. You've got so much control with a whip, and it's so slim and easy to hold and stuff. It's just a joy to use, to be honest with you. So what I'm doing, I'm just sort of flicking the rig in downstream, putting that section on. The section's important because there's not as much flow this side to the middle, and that last section just allows me to get above my float and keep it down that flow line, which is obviously really important when you're river fishing. Now then, how am I going to do this? Patience is key here. Yes, there we go. A lovely little float on. I've just got a 4x12 Cypriot on. I'll show you that in a minute. Lovely bit of kit. Just putting that section on just gets me behind the float, which is really important when you're river fishing, obviously trying to control that float. Oh, that was nice. Oh, that feels a good fish. See that whip bending? One section off. Look at that. Just because of the trees above me, I'm sort of bringing them upstream and then swinging them in because I've got that tree above me. Now can I swing them? Yeah, of course I can. Look at that. Is there anything more autumnal than catching roach on the river or hemp and tares? How good is this? This is... I'm just going to leave this going because it's so nice. I'm just, like I say, just flicking it out, trying to get it as far out as I can. And that section on. Behind the float, check the float. Gives me long enough while that's waiting up to king some hemping. And then away we go, repeat the process. Oh, I've bumped that one. You can see my Tare still on, so it's not the end of the world. Obviously you could use a pole, but it's such a long walk to get here. So let me bait off. It's not had a bite. Oh no. There we go. It's such a long walk, obviously bringing the pole and the rollers and all that, it's just a faff. You'd never get here. I wouldn't anyway, I'm not the fittest bloke. Look at that. Just munch that Tare. Absolutely munched it, look at that. Hey, you just never get here, and obviously fishing the whip, you're getting that similar distance and control factor, but it's just so light and easy to use. Lovely. This is just, I'm going to be here for hours, aren't I, doing this? Oh, missed it. I feel like they're coming up in the water. It's only 4 foot deep anyway. See the difference there? I put 8 metres on and flicked it out, and obviously I'm getting much further across the river when I do that. So that's just something to be mindful of. Speed isn't everything, is it? Yeah, and obviously when you're fishing like to hand like this, not necessarily to hand, but long rig, which when you're fishing a shallow swim, you need a long rig. And see, breaking down at top 7 could be really problematic for your pole. And obviously with this, it's so slim, you can do it, and it's strong. It's what it's made for. So I'm going to flip that further across this time. Check the float. Nice. A lot of people around this area fish wheat. Now, forgive my naivety, but they used to, well, they normally sell it in my tackle shop, but they haven't got any. And I didn't go and get any from the farm shop or anything, because I didn't really want 25 kilos of wheat. So I haven't got any, but I would have loved to have tried wheat. It's it's a good excuse to come back, isn't it? To come and bring some wheat next time. I've never fished with wheat as a hook bait. I've used it obviously within pigeon conditioning and things like that for carp, but I've never used it for roach. But everyone tells me it's a great bait, so if you'd like to see me come, this is a good fish. This is a good one. What is this? This feels huge. This feels huge. Oh lads. Oh my god, look at that. Please don't come up, Mr. Pike. Oh yeah. Oh, roach in heaven. Look at him. Anything better than that? Whew. Go on then. What a beautiful fish. River Hemp and Tares. What is not to like about that? Wow. Blooming heck, if you got a load of them, Jesus. I wasn't expecting that. That was on that bit of a longer flick, wasn't it? Looking over there, that flow is just a touch stronger over there. There's not loads of floats there. You see, it's still a low river at the moment. I don't know if I can get. It's still a lowish river at the moment. Yeah, this is. Excuse my language, but this is the bollocks, isn't it? You know, I love my pace fishing and commercials and stuff, but yeah, this is good, isn't it? This is really good. Enjoying this. I tell you, just on a whim. Ooh. They're coming up, these fish. They're coming shallow, which is amazing considering how shallow the water is. But I guess there's that flow and competition for bait. Ooh. Just a bird singing. I've got a pheasant behind me. There was a deer when I got here. Can't hear a car. There's no one here. If this don't get you, I'm not like feeling good about fishing. I don't know what will. See, I've not put my rig in right, and it took me ages to get a bite that time. Still got a bite, but it took me ages. And that's just because I didn't pay attention putting my float in the water. But there you go. got I don't know how to talk to you through the rig, but I've just got 08 exact on there. There's my hook length. Beautiful material. So that 18 hook. I'm just gonna do what I'm doing. I'm gonna do it more precise for my rig. I'm just gonna wait till I've got my section on, and then it's so fast that there's a line in the flow. I can see it. You probably can't, but it is just on the. It's like the tip of my pole, and if it comes this side of it, I think there must be some weed or something. You do get a bite, but it just takes so much longer. Hey, another good fish. That's a good fish. What is this? Oh, it's just a big, nice roach. Oh my god. Oh my god. What's the net this one? Nope. Probably should have netted that. Well, got to find out what this bit of kit is up to, I suppose. Very impressed. I've just got the medium tip in, like I mentioned. Probably used a heavy one here today, to be honest. Sections on. Yeah, that's better. Just getting that little bit extra distance by doing it with me big section on. Just makes it that, just be that where I need to be, I feel like. Let's keep an eye on that, but this is, we're on it now. We've got it going. And I'm just pulling that fish upstream. 2 reasons: it gets the fish out of the swim, but crucially, I can swing it in. Look at that. Oh, yep. Oh, there's a pike behind it. First one I've seen. Lovely. There was definitely a pike or something behind that. I love it. Does anyone know where you can get small tares from? Is that even a thing? You can get small tares. I'd love some small tares. That'd be the ultimate, wouldn't it? If you could get small tares. Maybe it's a different thing, different pea. I believe a tare is a pea. Let me know in the comments, is a tare a pea? Or maybe wheat is the bait because it's soft. Maybe the wheat would have been the ultimate. My good friend Sam, who's got a lot of experience on this river, believes that wheat is better because of the colour of the water, which I can see that actually been sat here now. Oh, I love it. You don't need a big strike, just a lovely little gentle strike. And bring them fish upstream and then swing them in. And that's the beauty of that system whip. It's so comfortable to fish with. You know, it makes things so easy. Flip that out. Section on. Gives me that control. So light I can just hold it like that. Like if you was to use a pole at 8 metres, it'd be thick, wouldn't it? It'd be so cumbersome. Obviously the only downside is like with this, for instance. If I was in a swim where the flow was on the far side, I wouldn't be able to get to it. That's the only downside. But on a swim like this, where the flow's down the middle, no problem. Oh, that feels like a good fish. That does feel like a good fish. What have we got here then? That's a nice one. Landing net required. Oh. Go on then. Don't you dare, Mr. Pike. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And I feel like I'm getting it now. Definitely getting it because I've got my feed in the right place, I've got my depth right, and it's resulting in roach like that. October fishing at its finest, isn't it really? You know you're on the river when you're doing that with your landing net, don't you? Putting it down the bank like that. I used to do that all the time when I was younger. What? How good's this? You know, I love all kinds of fishing, whether it's commercial, natural, whatever, but I mean, there's something in there about running a float through for roach. I mean, that's just special, isn't it? It really is. Oh, I bumped that one, but again, another hit bite. Hemp's, no, Tare's still on. Yeah, there's just something special about it, isn't there? This time of year, leaves are falling off the tree. Roach time. Yeah, we're on it now. We're on it now. Of course, that's the thing with loose feed. It's not like ground bait where you can put your ground bait quite accurate and then fish over it. With this, you just got to work out where to put it in to get the fish where you need them in the swim to catch them. And that's all that river fishing's about, isn't it? Well, it's not all it's about, but it's a big part of river fishing. Where to feed to catch the fish. And moving that bait down is definitely better. Oh. Catching them now. I'm catching them now, viewers. And lovely fish. They are lovely fish. Quite well hooked as well. Bottom and the top lip, but a few taking that Tare right down. Section on. Putting plenty of bait in now, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. No need to. There's plenty of fish here. There's no need to faff. Definitely not. Love to just fish 8 metres to hand. This tree just doesn't let me do it. You can hear it every time I shoot it. It's just on the limit with this 7 metres. 8 metres would just be a recipe for disaster, I'm afraid. And there's a woodpecker or something working the tree below me. If you listen carefully, you might be able to hear it. Bait in them, and they're biting. Okay, so this is my new bit of kit that I gone and got myself. Now, did a couple of videos on the Nufish YouTube channel last year, and it was like stripping my kit back, rest of the box, light bit of kit. If you haven't seen them, they're on the Nufish channel. They're a nice watch. It's just me fishing on this river. And all summer I've been coming and fishing various stretches of the river, and no matter where I go, I see loads of roach topping. But the problem is, they're a long walk, and I kept thinking, I want to fish for these roach, but I don't really want to like use a long pole, because you've got to take rollers, then you've probably got to take a seat box with a foot plate. You've then got a barrow, you've got a couple of top kits, you've got a pole. It's a lot of faff in it. But I thought, I want to fish the pole, or I want to get the presentation of the pole. And I got a thinking cap on, and then I thought, well, it's a system whip, and I'm not familiar with system whips at all. I'm no expert, and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna have a look at getting myself a system whip. And I saw Guru got one, and I thought, well, those lads know what they're talking about, so I'm gonna have a look at it. And this is what we've ended up with, which is an 8 metre. It's an 8 metre system whip, and as you can see, it's a tiny little package that you get. So perfect if you are travelling light, or you're fishing the river or whatever. You can just chuck it in your bag and it's there. I mean, that compared to an 8 metre pole with different top kits and stuff is just night and day in it. So this is the bit of kit, and I set it up quickly in my house, and it's just beautiful. So I did a little bit of research, very little, hardly any, and I thought, well, the Guru one's going to be great, and this is what you get in your kit. So you've got an 8 metre whip, take apart, and then you get a top kit which has got a bush in it for putting elastic in if you wanted to put white zip in it, black zip. It's strong, that's the thing, it's a strong bit of kit. So you've got an elastic kit, a top kit that'll take elastic there. But what I thought was really important, or quite interesting actually, was the like traditional whip top kit, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. Now, it's a different design. I mean, like I say, I'm not far from a whip expert. I've rarely used one, if I'm honest, and judging by how I'm performing with this, you can see why. But it comes with this, I want to call it like a traditional whip top end, so a telescopic top. I guess that's probably a couple of meters. So you've got if you wanted to fish really close in with a traditional whip, you've got a lovely little delicate whip there. Obviously you can put other sections on it to make it up to 8 meters, but so you get this traditional whip. But what I thought was really clever, and like I say, they all might come like this for what I know, but I'm not sure. So this is the top section, and it comes available with, or it comes supplied with, should I say, 3 different diameter tips, almost like pushing quivers. So you've got solid carbon flick tips of different strengths, light, medium and heavy. They all come with this, I've never seen this before. I think it's, Matt did say it is the norm now, but I thought it was brilliant. So, and it's got this, it rotates, so you don't get any tangles, but it comes like with this Dacron on it, so you can just fashion your rig to that, and away you go. Light, doesn't create tangles, and it spins, so you don't get any tangles. So you've got 3 different strengths, obviously. So if you are fishing for little fish on the canal or something, you could use the light tip. If you're on the river like we are today, then you want something a little bit more beefy, and having those options are brilliant. Obviously you can tailor it to your fishing. And what I really love about it, because I thought, oh, they'll just be telescopic, but they're not. They push in like a rod. So this is the telescopic top kit, and you just push these flick tips in like a quiver tip. So in theory, if you start fishing and maybe the fish are a bit smaller than you thought, or a little bit bigger, you could just take your rig off and quickly change out your quiver tip, or your flick tip, for a different strength. And I just thought that was ingenious. Like I say, if that might be the norm. It might be the norm, and I'm just not familiar with whips and all that kind of jazz. But I thought that was brilliant, and I'm going to go for the medium one today. So yeah, so that's in there, and I thought that was, like I say, I thought that was a great idea. It might be commonplace now, but I like that. So not only does it come with the old elasticated top kit, but it also comes with the flick tip top kit, which is this one. So you can fish it with those different tips in it, and you can fish it from 1 metre up to 8. Lovely and light, as you'd expect. Now, the beautiful thing about a system whip is how slim they are, and that goes for all of them. Like I say, I'm not mega familiar. The Daiwa ones are amazing, I'm sure. I know Preston do one, Drennan do one, I'm sure they're all great, but it's the diameter that makes them so nice. So when you're fishing like this, you've got a strong slim pole that's easy to like flick around and stuff. So this is how it comes supplied. You've got the top kit, and it comes out just, they're like, I don't know, not a metre, they must be a bit longer than 1 metre, but you get all these different bits, and then you get 3 coloured bits. And if you're fishing more to hand style, like I intend to do today, you're going to use, you know, you're going to use 5 meters and then a couple of bits on, or you're going to use 6 meters to hand, or you're going to use 7 meters to hand, or even 8 meters to hand. But what I think this pole really is good for, especially with the elasticated kit, I think a lot of old lads just want to fish short, don't they? 8 meters or less, particularly those old lads who want to fish for roach. And I remember there was an old guy on the club pond that I used to fish when I was a kid, and he used to use a connoisseur system whip, I think it was. It might have even been a match winner, but it was a system whip from Tare anyway. It was one from way back in the 90s. And he used to use it as a pole. So he'd elasticate his top kit as normal, and he'd use it as a pole, and he was just fishing for roach, like 5, 6, 7 meters, and he just preferred having the lovely slim pole. I mean, at 8 meters, it weighs nothing at 8 meters. It's so slim and easy to use. I can imagine if you're just fishing for roach and you're just whizzing back like that, it's going to be lovely to use. So they are actually really versatile bits of kit, and I think for some old lads who love fishing for roach on a short pole, on a canal or a drain or whatever, a little lake, river like I am today, what a cracking bit of kit. And yeah, look, it's a novelty purchase for me. It was something I just had a rush of blood to my head, and I thought, I want one of them. And that was that. I probably won't use it that often, but I have promised myself a few more of these sessions on the river. And I thought, do you know what? I'm at the time of my life when I can do things like this and buy things like this, so why not? And I thought that was really, really good. And like I say, I am not a whip expert by any means. In fact, far from it. But I know a good bit of tackle when I see it. And for me, that is a good bit of tackle. Like a really nice bit of tackle. So check it out if you're in the market for something like that. Really, really nice. See if we can catch a couple more. I'm really running low on hemp now. Feed hemp. Got plenty of hookers. Got started to run low on hemp. So the end of the session is unfortunately nigh. I did a video last year called For the Love of Fishing on, well, I did a couple actually on this river, and look, I am fully aware that, you know, commercials are where it's at, and that's where a lot of our promo and videos and stuff is aimed at, the commercial lads. But there's obviously so many anglers out there that still love this sort of thing, and even the commercial lads, I'd love, even if this video just gets one of you out on the bank and gives it a go, rather than going and doing the same old thing, soaking up some micros, pumping a few expanders or whatever. Nothing wrong with that, of course there isn't, but there's also plenty to love about this. And I just think sometimes we get a bit stuck in our ways, don't we? And you know me, I'm chub fishing, I'm barbel fishing, I'm perch fishing, I'm paste fishing, I'm always doing something different. And I'm not saying I'm right or wrong or whatever, but I love fishing. And sometimes just doing something different can really surprise you and be really enjoyable. And this today, fishing with a long whip, you know, who would have thought I'd be doing this today? You know, you all come on my channel expecting paste and method feeder and pellet, and yet here I am fishing hemp and tares with a long whip on the Great Ouse. But there's lots of this fishing out there to be done and enjoyed. And that was a slow bite, weird. I think it was dragging. I love that. I love that when you catch one and the tear stays on and they're perfectly hooked in the top lip like that, and you can just plop them in the net and the hemp is Well, the Tare is pretty much good to go. That one just burst at the bottom, so we'll slip another one on. Make no apology for the length of this video, by the way. Surprised we haven't seen the otter. There's normally a few otters around here. Kingfish is coming. There we go. Great, innit? Fantastic. Bit of a sad roach, that one. Right, I'm just going to catch one more. Famous last words, but I am actually only going to catch one more. And then we're going to have a little look, because I have put a keep net in to have a look, because there's some magnificent fish in there. And it just seems nice to end on a bit of a catch shot for a change. Oh. Lost it. Can't go out on a lost fish, can I? Right, final flick. Unless I lose a fish or miss a fish or whatever, but I'm only going to catch one more. Famous last words, I'm only going to catch one more, and then we're going to have a look in that net, see what we've caught. Cause I feel like we're going to have a surprising amount of fish in there. Considering, you know, we've only been fishing for a few hours. Oh, yes. Nice one to end on as well. Root's bending lovely. Oh dear, I've enjoyed this. This has been this has been just what the doctor ordered. This has. I'm going to net him because he deserves to be netted, that one. He's not the biggest roach in the world, but I'll tell you what, he's a nice one to end on. So let's have a little glance in that net. And that's just a cracker, isn't it? Fantastic. Let's have a look in the net. Right, so there we go. Really bad angle, but it must be 15, 18 pounder roach there in a couple of hours. Unbelievable. Amazing fishing. I mean, look at them. Great stamp. I mean, that one's sort of 10 ounce plus. Just a great average stamp. Amazing fishing on Hemp and Tares. Yeah, let's get them back because I don't want to keep them out for any longer. But that is amazing fishing. All for the price of a little bit of Hemp and a few Tares. So let's get them back.